Hola. All right. Well, I can shut off studio mode. Can go back here. So tonight, happy Thursday to everyone. My monitor won't tilt. There it goes. Goodness gracious. Shake everything. Shake it for me. Okay, I shouldn't sing that. So tonight, uh, building Thursday night football. So the past 2 weeks, I've spent some time. I mean, I've been tired the past two Thursday nights, and today I feel good, and I want to be productive and focused with how we approach things. So I'd fought with myself about doing TikTok tonight, but I was looking through the different lives and stuff, and I'm not sure that I'm prepared to kind of foray into the different topics and focuses on there, because there seems to be very little what's the word? There seems to be very little focused interest, I should say. Like I didn't see a lot of interest into the realm of like just talk, just football talk, which makes sense. It's not it's not that time. It's not that season. And so it makes sense to me that it's not like highly vested in right now. So with that though, I have a plan, um, some ideas to kind of flesh out a little bit tonight, and build into a plan, build into a plan for involvement and investment in the world of um, TikTok, but also the future, like just in general, of what Thursdays are going to look like. So um, the two biggest of those is number one, looking at um, this idea I've been sitting on and chewing over, and I'd be curious to see how it could go. And it's this random idea called NFL Court, and so maybe spending some time kind of developing out a plan to potentially look at this, and yeah, and really build towards a better plan for what this could be. But then also, of course, I say tonight I'm feeling pretty good, and then I start yawning. What the heck? And then uh I swear, did I just go? I just went out there to the bathroom. I didn't fill up my water. Uh-oh. Um, and but then also looking at the idea of like ways to be able to combine the world of football and gaming. So right now that looks like the world of how could I develop some ideas that are different, original, and also like highly engaging when it comes to like Madden, when it comes to different stuff like that. Um, but then also, those are two kind of, I think, focal conversations and kind of planning for tonight. But also, I want to be looking at how can I be implementing, how can I be focusing on, how can I be making sure that things are happening in the world of like doing, keeping cleats off the couch going, and having a consistent capability of that when it comes to conversations and focuses, um, in that world, in that neighborhood for podcast. Um, I've got to think through that more, and really get things moving on that, or else I just need to be honest with myself and just kind of lay that down and let that go. I don't want to, but I mean, I can't do all the things I want to do, and I have to. Something has to give. So, and then there's another idea I've had for a while, which relates to just being productive with the idea of focusing on football, which is the idea of like an interesting, maybe funny way of like making um, making football accessible. So like teaching football to people who don't know it, don't understand it, or have never interacted with it, whatever it may be. So anyway, just some different ideas I'm looking at and working through. And so I'm going to put this in here. There we go. I'm going to put this here and pin that. There we go. That's one of the things I wanted to look at. I mean, we got March Madness has been happening, so that's a big thing. But wanted to look at what's the newest thing that's been happening. Oh, I see here the Browns. The Browns adding Tevin Jenkins from the Bears, right? Yeah, missed most of his rookie season from back surgery. And then, okay. So he was arguably their best offensive lineman when he was available. Okay. Oh, I saw there's a bunch of rule changes too. There's an interesting, like 6 different ones. I'm just gonna go to here we go. Let's go to free agency. That's what I want to do. Just look at these so far. Post free agency power rankings. Who improved most or least? Let's look at the tracker. I want to see other pieces that we missed. The Bills with their big contract with Josh Allen, 1 year. This is what, 3rd string running back. Ty Johnson, 2-year deal for very little. Josh Palmer, Khalil Shakir, 4-year extension. Okay. Kendrick Green for a 1-year contract. Offensive line. Joey Bosa. We talked about that one. That one's an interesting one. Curious to see what comes out of that even beyond this year. But I didn't realize that they signed Ogunjobi. Actually, I think Red had mentioned that last week. But so they signed Ogunjobi from the Steelers. It made sense for the Steelers to cut ties, hoping for the best for him, but the Steelers needed to make some cap space. All right, not much there. I'm not seeing this isn't if I'm honest, that's not really the layout I wanted to see. Let me look at the best still available. This is the question. Obviously you have like Amari Cooper, Asante Samuel Jr. Oh, poor tackling and inability to play press. Yeah, he wouldn't do well for the Steelers. But Aaron Rodgers, I as a Steelers fan, like I'm curious, like, is anything coming with Russ? At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers are just looking for the draft. If they're just looking towards the draft, they're not trying to grab up Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. But of course, I say something like that, and all of a sudden, news will break. I can't believe J.K. Dobbins is still available. That'd be one for the Steelers to go after. I know they want to grab a rookie, but I mean, I think if you can grab a J.K. Dobbins alongside of Jalen Warren, that'd be huge. Zadarius Smith, he's a role player. Justin Simmons knows to know. Yeah, outside of, here you go, off the market. Patriots took D-tackle Williams. Offensive tackle there, obviously. Linebacker. Darnold, Seahawks, we know about that one. Josh Sweat to the Cardinals. Godwin with the Bucks. Davis, cornerback for the Patriots. Travarius Ward for the Colts. DJ Reed for the Lions. Adams for the Rams. Dowman at center for the Bears. Greenlaw to the Broncos. My goodness, okay. Well, I think this is I mean, we've seen what we've seen. This one still kind of irks me. Still kind of irks me that the Steelers didn't lock him in and then get somebody in the draft. Like, that just would have been, to me, the most duh situation. But especially with how they talked him up and down, like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm getting really annoyed with how Tomlin and, I don't know if I can say Omar Khan yet, because like it was Colbert and now it's Omar Khan, but I get really annoyed with how they talk about their quarterbacks. Really annoyed. All right, so Aaron Jones is back in with the Vikings. Oh, Talanoa Hufanga to the Broncos. Interesting. Okay. Seemed like the Broncos had a lot. Guys, I'd put the Broncos on the alert this year. Like, last year they looked good. Second half of the season, they definitely showed like, okay, this team's gonna come together. They're gonna come together. And I think this season, I think that they can really wrestle with the Chiefs for the West. I really do. I really do. So that'll be really interesting to watch. I mean, don't count out the Chargers either. You know what I mean? With what Harbaugh did coming into them for his first year. So you got Harbaugh and the Chargers. You got the Chiefs, obviously. You've got the Broncos, who I think are building something great there, and then you got the Raiders, who. Wow, excuse me. I mean, don't count them out, but I just don't know that they're going to have the power necessary this year. But yeah, I think we might see a step back this next season from the Chiefs. They lost the Super Bowl after being in 3 straight, right? 3 straight, being in like 4 of the last 5. So with that, I really would not be surprised if we see a little bit of a step back, and that's partially because of like the Broncos are going to beat on them. The Chargers, I think, will be a little bit better, and they were already a decent team last year. So across the league, obviously the Browns are a quarterback away. It seems the Steelers seem to be a quarterback away from a lot of from better than 10-7. The Ravens are the Ravens. The Bengals, their offense looks clean, but what's their defense going to do? You know what I'm saying? And in the East, the Patriots look like they're starting to store up they're going to start to do something. The Bills are going to continue to be the Bills. The Dolphins are trying to still do some things. Who's the other one over there? The Dolphins, the Patriots, the Bills. For some reason, I can't think of who the other one is. Am I going to see it through here? Why can I not think about it? The Jets, that's why. Yeah, the Jets, I don't expect anything out of this next year. In the South, the Texans will do decent again. The Colts, they'll probably get back up there a little bit. The Jaguars probably get up there a little bit. Titans, I don't know. Titans still feel like, I don't know how to explain it. old man club. But the the West, I already talked about. Yeah. So like the AFC as a whole, I think the Chiefs take steps back this year because yeah, you have the Broncos competing, the Chargers competing. You'll probably the Texans will be competing. Two of these teams might be given some issues, but I don't think they'll be competing, if that makes sense. I think almost all of the North will probably be competing again, and then you're gonna have two. You definitely have the Bills, but then the Dolphins and the Patriots will be similar to like the Jaguars and Colts or something like that. So so yeah, I don't think the Chiefs are just gonna stand where they are and hold everything. I just don't think they're gonna be able to. I think they're gonna take some steps back, but we'll see. We'll see on that. So this is the thing that kills me is like the Steelers getting Kenny Gainwell. Like, okay, I don't really have an issue with that. What I have an issue with is it seems like they're going to be relying on him to be their backup, straight up backup, as if they're gonna, and it shouldn't surprise me. They're gonna do the typical Tomlin thing. And what does that mean? What are they going to do? They're going to lean heavy into their number one running back. They're going to lead heavy into Jaylen Warren. And I love Jaylen Warren, and I think he's a great, elusive, explosive back that way. But I've been saying this for years with a lot of different running backs for the Steelers. You can't just, you don't have the running back, you don't have the game style to be able to do what you've always done. And just be able to lean into that one running back to get all the carries. Like, you have to expand. And that's what I think opened up Jaylen Warren to make him so good so many times the past couple of years, is because they leaned so hard into Najee, and then they would hand it off, and to Jaylen, and watch him one cut elusive breakthrough for a big gain. And he would do that consistently. He would get like 10, whenever, I think it was 2 seasons ago, whenever he got 10 or more carries a game, they won. Like there's just, and obviously that's one of those aloof statistics, but still there's a relation to the win in that way. So the fear I have for this season is the Steelers are going to be doing they're going to be relying on Jaylen Warren as if he's a 1, 2, 3 all the time. And I think it's gonna kill him. I think he's not gonna have the longevity for it. And I don't think Kenny Gainwell is I think he's a reliable break pace kind of guy, but he's not going to be the kind who can step in when somebody gets injured. He's not going to be the kind who can really help you pop the top off your defense with your 1-2 punch at running back. They're going to have to, maybe that's the plan. Maybe the plan is to draft. And I don't have a problem with that. If you're trying to aim for one of those top running backs, try to grab a Scattaboo or something like that. Because then you get kind of that bowling ball power back alongside of your elusive back. So I don't have an issue with that kind of direction leaning into the draft at this point. I just think with like I said earlier, with that like J.K. Dobbins still available, like if you can get him to if you can get him to a manageable contract, you put him in alongside of Jaylen Warren. Come on, that right there. And I think unless they're keeping Cordero, and I don't want them to. He's done. He's aged. I don't think he's the answer as a depth running back. But let me look at the team real quick for the Steelers. Let me see position. Let's go to running back. Got Kenneth, Shampklin and Hull and Jonathan Ward, but they're all like, those are your fighting for the 3rd or 4th spot guys, in my opinion. Yeah, they still have him. They still have Cordero. And so I understand if you still have Cordero, you still have Jaylen, you have Gainwell, and then you have those other 3 who are vying for that 4th spot if they're going to roster 4, as well as they're kind of those young guys who are fighting off of the Jonathan Ward's not young. He's young. He's 27. He's young, but in football terms, he's not. If you've got that kind of setup, then I understand if you're going for the draft, you just got to draft and try and fit a guy in, probably in there alongside of Gainwell, in between Gainwell and Jalen Warren, but um, I don't know. I still like the idea of getting like a J, especially when if you wanna min max right now, you wanna overload your running back room, in my opinion, of what you have available and the reliability of that when you don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be like yet. You've got Mason Rudolph and you've got Skylar Thompson, and so if you're the Steelers, like in my opinion, why would you not look to get even a 1 year deal since J.K. Dobbins is still sitting there, 1 to 2 year deal out of J.K. Dobbins, and then draft as well. I mean, and then lean into the run game, which they already do because they do things. They've done things the same for 30 years. So I don't know. But what does March Madness look like right now? I'm curious, how are they? Is it the first round games tonight? That's what I'm curious about. Um, I filled out a couple different brackets myself, and I don't know how they're gonna be doing. There we go. Trying to log in here, and for some reason it's not working. Hi, yay. All these different like situations you got to go through to be able to log in to stuff anymore because people are crazy. Okay, why does it not? Where are you? I haven't looked at this in so long. Kentucky already out? What? Kentucky's already out? Auburn, everybody knew that one. Creighton, I predicted that in a lot of them. It's an upset, but is it really an upset between them and Louisville? Um, Texas A&M over Yale, and then is anybody playing right now? I don't think so. There's got to be somebody playing right now. But Wisconsin and BYU. Oh, I thought I predicted a VCU upset over BYU in a lot of different brackets. But I say a lot. I only did like 2 or 3. I said, but then we have Houston and Gonzala, and then let's go, McNeese over Clemson, even 69-67. Let's go. Let's go. Purdue, all right, good. Got on that one. And then Tennessee, all right. So there we go. St. John's is playing Omaha, Nebraska Omaha. That's it. Okay. And Missouri's playing Drake right now. Drake winning that. All right. Go Drake, get that upset. That's what I'm talking about. I want to check, see here. Oop, I think I hit the wrong thing. Nope, let me view bracket here. I'm good on 3 of 3 in the South. Yep, I had in this bracket I had Kansas over Arkansas. So that one's kaput. And then I had VCU in the upset there. So already down. Yeah, and I had Georgia over Gonzaga. I had Clemson over McNeese. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. And then that's in one of them. What? Why is it making me sign back in? What? I was just in. What's this one got? Okay, so in this one, I'm 3 for 3, Auburn, Creighton, and Texas A&M. And then Arkansas, I projected correctly. I have St. John's winning, and I have, this was one I have Missouri winning. In the other one, I had the upset coming from Drake. So we'll see what happens there. But then in this one, I had the VCU upset as well. Darn it. I was hoping. Oh, man. And then Gonzaga, McNeese. McNeese is probably already... Well, it's a 12-5, so there's probably a handful of people that had that. There's probably a handful of people. I gotta see. Why does it look like... I thought there was one that I had that upset projected, but I guess not. I guess not. And what does the women's one look like? Or what is it? When does that one start? That one starts tomorrow. That one starts tomorrow. Gotcha. I don't really ever usually do that because I don't watch women's basketball personally. I don't watch basketball in general. But, yeah, I just have never really... I mean, it was always just UConn, right? UConn would win, and that was it. That's all you knew. All you knew about. Is that not below? It is. It's just hard to see. All right. Let's look at here. Plan this out a little bit, this idea of NFL court. I want to build up this idea here for... Let me check this real quick. Probably starting in April, doing some TikTok live action for this NFL court idea. All right. I'm going to pull this over here, actually. So, if I do this... Okay. So the idea... The idea of this, of like NFL court would be around the idea of doing engaging conversations to where like a fun idea can be, put on trial, can be put out there, whether it's just a hot take kind of idea or something else. um Even something, it could be as simple as like Aaron Rodgers should retire, stuff like that. That might be hot topics, but allow then two very obvious opposing takes that can be argued and presented. And so two different ways to go about this would be where I myself kind of then present one side and then the other, and then chat decides. Chat can be kind of the jury in which they decide, and this has a lot of potential to become something bigger than just me talking to talking these things out, but also even being able to potentially down the road, if we reach some support levels, to be able to reach goals of, I'll get the white wig and the gavel, stuff like that. Can be fun goals to make it more engaging and fun to watch and be a part of. The other idea would be, if an idea is given, like a hot take or a specific like idea or thought is put on trial, I should say, for NFL court, then allow people, thinking on TikTok, allow people to join in, and have basically someone represent a side and then the other side, or I could let I could choose 2 or 3 people to represent each side, and let somebody jump in and say, okay, you have 30 seconds to add to this argument, and where they can add in, and then I can have somebody else jump in on the other side, and I can have 3 and 3, or 2 and 2, or 1 and 1, whatever, and let people jump in and be an active part in the conversation. And then I can take chats, I can put a piece out there where chat can be the jury, to be able to give their take based upon the arguments given, not taking into consideration anything outside of, but only the arguments given. And then from there, I can become the arbiter, the ultimate judge, in saying, which one wins, or whatever it may be. That could be a really fun, and funny opportunity. I would need to emphasize things, I think, like, I emphasize family friendly content, so I aim not to have language and vulgarity and stuff like that, innuendo. But then also the idea, I think there needs to be an idea of what would come out of that, right? Because if you have either of these ideas, whether I invite people in to take part in the conversation, or I do it myself, and I could take people's thoughts under advisement or whatever, and then chat can be the jury to decide based upon the arguments that I present, or chat can be a part of deciding based upon what other people present, whatever. From there needs to be some sort of outcome. And what I mean by that is, like, okay, if this side wins, do we just treat it as like okay, guilty, and then move on to the next case kind of thing? Or do we have a fun little situation of where people, like, the winning side gets something, you know what I mean? I don't know how you do something like that. I gotta maybe think through some ideas of that, but that's the idea, is like, how does chat participate? So I already said, I think I like the idea of, I'd have to test out the idea of having to where, one, chat can offer ideas, right? I think that's one. How can chat participate? And this would be where they can, oh, no. Offer ideas for court cases. And then the other idea would be along the lines of, let me see here. Jury. Yeah, be the jury, as well as offer representation for both sides, for sides of the argument / case. Those are basically some ways there. Maybe I don't know exactly how this works, but maybe there's something along the lines of being able to plan out and give an understanding of, like, to where they can also vote up different stuff. Or I'm going to put here, who is the jury? Yep. I don't know if I should actually have that up because it shows a URL. Oh no. No. Okay, perfect. Ideas I had up for something on the notepad have I thought had been dissipated, had been disappeared, had been eliminated. But I think you know what? I kind of want to make another scene that I can do this. If I duplicate and say main plus PC, and do something like that, and then okay, there's no differentiation between these. Stop with the transition. If I do this, I wonder if there's a way for me to be able to add in display capture. In some way, shape, or form. I'm curious if this is a scene I could make. Because that, holy cow, that goes that whole. That would be too small for anybody to be able to see. But what if I did something like this? And then I like took this and I transformed it. Oh, that's not what I want. I want the camera. I guess I would need to alt. Yeah, do it like this. And then I could just like rotate it. Not rotate it, but slide it. I just would not want to step outside of it. I think I consistently am in this kind of. And then do this kind of thing. Kind of like this, and then I kind of like something similar to this. I don't know if this is the way that I like it, but Twitch chat then I feel like would need to be somewhere underneath. Where'd it go? Oh, it's right there. Okay. Then the idea would be something interesting in the way of like there's Twitch chat, and I could still have chat somehow. I don't know how I would want to do this. How would you do this? What would be the best way to do this? Would it be to do this and just have it like half and then have chat underneath of it? Would that be the best way to do it? Or does that look dumb? Yeah, that looks dumb. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. And then we move chat up. And just allow like the most recent kind of something like that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the best idea is for this. Anyway, we'll just cut back over to this. Anyway, where'd I put my other tabs? Uh-oh. There it is. Okay. So I think, first of all is understanding, NFL Court is an interactive, live streamed event where fans of football can come together, debate, argue, analyze different NFL topics in a fun courtroom setting. Viewers acting like the jury. Stream host, myself, plays the role of the judge. Cases are presented as trials, specific football moments, player and team decisions, or controversial events are argued. The goal is determined then whether the case is a guilty or not guilty judgment based on logic, emotion, and football knowledge. The court is meant to be fun and engaging. It's an opportunity for fans to voice their opinions, creating a highly interactive environment. That's basically what it would be, I think. But I'd put here what I was gonna put is like who is the jury, and that could be one of two things. That could either be all of chat or selected chat members for each case. That's an idea. Um, yeah, I think those are really the two options. I would be the judge. That's hands down how that would go, because I would have to control things within the great scheme of things. Um, I'm curious if there would need to be, like, there could be real time, like live polls. I think you can do live polls. I think you can do live polls. That's an idea for like who's guilty. Um, trying to think here. How would I? Oh, that's what I wanted to see. If there's a way to. Yeah, you can do live voting, real-time input, all that kind of punishment for losers. There you go. If desired, that's an idea. Because I had what I had talked about was the idea of like having a winning thing, but also there could be a punishment. Like, no, well, it depends on how. Like, yeah, the losing side has to do something. Those who participated on the losing side have to do something, or they get kicked. You get kicked if you. I don't know if people would find that funny as I do, but you get kicked if you try to represent a certain side and you fail and get voted out, basically. Um, I'm curious too if this kind of idea could be more, instead of doing it like every week, I feel like I would need to limit it. Maybe do it like every other week, or maybe it's like the third Thursday I do football court or something like that. I don't know. I just don't want to get overcommitted into an idea for too, like, because one of the things that happened last fall, especially second half of the year, was started talking about fantasy football, and then I got locked into that. Like, because of the crowd that came, I got locked into that. And so, if I could make it understood in some way about like, yeah, if you want to be a part of, football court, I can build up then the things that I'll have and prepare certain fun things for that single night that we would do it that month or something like that. That might be the best way to do it, honestly. Um, yeah. So yeah, I like this. I really like this idea. I just got to make it happen. Just got to make it happen. That's the reality of it. Realty of it. Oh, that's the other thing I was trying to figure out was like if there's some sort of way alongside it, because I know on TikTok there's ways to do stuff like when you, like people who give this, like when it comes to like the whole bit, not like bits here. Yeah, it's like bits on Twitch, I guess. Maybe that can play into like who gets what, like whose idea gets first look, who gets to be a part of the actual who gets to join in into the live, or like votes for things and stuff like that. Red, how we doing, man? Um, I was gonna say maybe. First looks at ideas. Aaron Rodgers a Steeler? Wait, what? 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 No, I don't want that. That's YouTube. Is there news about this? I didn't know. I thought he was still. I don't know. I am. I don't like it. I personally, like, if you're gonna go with one of the vets, you need to go. You need to go in on Russ because Russ has a year in the system. In my opinion, you're looking at a bridge quarterback. He has a year system in the system. You draft a quarterback. That's my approach. You draft. You go for the draft. But unfortunately, it looks like. I don't know. I don't like it. What's this here I see though? Steelers coach Mike Tomlin gets dinner with potential new quarterback as the Aaron Rodgers saga drags on. Oh, yeah. They're looking at, he just met with Jalen Milroe on March 18th. Yeah. So that's my thought, is that they're not going to take either one though. Red. I don't think they're going to take either one. I think they're just going to rely on the draft. You got Mason Rudolph is probably, leaning on him, and then the draft. So yeah, there's more and more. I had a buddy of mine. He is a Cleveland Browns fan, and he had texted me. I was out doing delivery work or whatever, and I get a text from him about like, I can't believe the Steelers actually fired Mike Tomlin. I'm like, they didn't. There's nothing about that. And he like sent me a screenshot of like one of these, and there's accounts that they do this, and it wasn't actual news. It was just made up. So oh man, bunch of jerks. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I gotta look more at this idea. Oh, you think you're gonna hit me? Just because you redeemed it, right? Doesn't mean it's gonna be thrown yet. So I am. Oh, Red, you weren't here, but last night we spent so much time. It wasn't last night. It was on Tuesday. Before I really got into some reshooting a video, before we went into reshooting a video, I spent, you can ask, Hilly was here. I spent like 45 minutes trying to figure out the audio, bro. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Every single thing I looked at when it came to the specific nature of where things are going and how it's supposed to be working, it was set, like things seemed to be set up properly, and it's just not working. I don't know. I don't know. So that's been very frustrating. Very frustrating. But yeah, so Man. All right. Well, Red, it's good to see you here. I'm not getting off. I'm just going to I got to put the be right back screen on. I got to refill my water. I've been on since 9:30. I got to refill my water and then probably grab a snack and come right back. So I'm only going to be gone for like a minute. So you've got your sub badge anyway. So even if I play ads, it's not going to bother you. Not going to affect you, but just letting y'all know I'll be right back. And I'll probably be sitting instead of standing. Stood for an hour, gonna sit for an hour. Know what I'm saying? All right. I'll be right back. I do not know what that music was. Comfy Christmas sweater season. What in the world? Oh man. Anyway, I got a little bit of got my water first and foremost. Most important thing. But got some banana split ice cream. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. No, this will not become an ASMR stream. So, I was talking a little bit about and trying to create. I think I have a plan as to how I'm going to go about doing NFL Court. I've just got to definitely set up the different pieces to be able to do that, specifically with like TikTok. And it definitely seems like Red, I don't know about you, but it definitely seems like for me these Thursday nights and focusing around football, it definitely feels like I need to be on TikTok and not necessarily on Twitch. I just feel like from a like effectiveness of effort compared to involvement and interaction, there's not high interaction that happens on Thursday nights for me here on Twitch. And I've got to get going again on TikTok if I want to continue the growth that was happening, or revitalize the growth that was happening during football season. And so that's where I'm trying to build this to ensure that there is something like that growing, and an effective, engaging form of that happening. So I definitely, like, that's probably going to change a little bit. Like, I'm not trying to make big changes until the end of March, so I have a full month and be like, okay, let me look back, let me look at some stats, let me understand. Okay, let me make the best decision possible with how we're going to approach things. So I'm trying to hold myself off from making moves too fast, but also trying to be aware of it as I go through. So just trying to use the time for heavy planning and stuff as I can right now. And next week as well, or sorry, one of the things I had then for tonight was was try and think through like different ways to better approach and build a clear content framework for, if you will, football and gaming. And so the idea of Madden and stuff, obviously I don't yet have access to things like a Series X. I don't have access to what's that called? NCAA. I don't have access to that. I have Madden 25 on my Xbox, and so on my series, on my 1S, so I can play that a little like I have the past 2 weeks. But I don't want to just play Madden. I want there to be a purpose to the content that's being done, and therefore the fun and the connection opportunity for things. So part of me is like, okay, so what are some ideas? Um, Me as well. I need an Xbox. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Yeah, because didn't yours go to the Philippines? Isn't that where yours went or something like that? But I need to do that. And one of the things I need to do is I need to reactivate. I need reactivate. I need to pull up. I haven't talked about or shown Throne in a while. Because one of the things, whoa, I clicked the wrong button there. One of the things is here on Throne. Oh wow, I need to change this. This was all part of. Some of this was created for a different thing, right? PC upgrades, content creation, right here, to be able to do like a Xbox Series X, and to like try to do this, try to work my way towards this. If that's something, if that's what we as a community want to make the next, like the goal. So Throne is something that I have and I need to do more with, but yeah, that's definitely like different items, you know, stuff that it could be used and stuff like that. So on here, if we as a community look to do this all together, I don't know if the taxes and it says the service and payment processing is included, but this comes out to, no, I don't want to do that. The total would be 500, basically 550, and it would come with the 1 terabyte. It would come with the 1 terabyte of space. It would come with the disk drive, which would be the one I want, because we use the disk drives in my house. But then it comes with a controller as well. And so this would be one where if we as a community dropped to make it happen, we could make that. But this is one where if anybody wants to contribute towards anything, they can, or can be bought outright if anybody wants to do that kind of thing. But nothing's ever expected in this framework. They're just put there because it's always better to just have a list if people want to look at ways that they can do that. So I got to take some of this off because these were like from a throne giveaway that was happening or whatever, and they're just like, you need to make a thing with Valentine's Day ones, and so I had to add them on. But now I need to take them off. But I do have money. I do have money sitting from a return that happened at one point, so like I could drop towards one of these goals, but I don't want to drop towards and contribute towards a goal, because once you start it with crowdfunding, like that's the only way to get it, and I don't want to put it towards an item if that's not what we're gonna do. So yeah, that's some of the pieces to this, and I also wanted to create, incentives to something like that. If this is going to be something that I was making a goal, I wanted to create incentives to that, but I hadn't really decided on that yet. So I'm just kind of living with where I am with what I have at the moment, and going with Madden 25 from there. But the idea of I'm just trying to think through, like, what are some things, what are some ideas we could do instead of, just me going in. I mean, last week my whole purpose was, okay, I'm going to set up the team that I think based upon, I have an Amazon wish list too. I forgot about that. I just haven't touched that in so long. But last week I took the current Steelers, and I did whatever moves I thought would be best, and then simulated the season. And did I play one or two games? I think I played the first game, but simulated through, and the Steelers won the Super Bowl with Russell Wilson throwing 5 touchdown passes. Insane. Insane. And it wasn't a blowout either. It was a tit for tat, if I remember. But those are the kind of things I was thinking. But at the same time, here's some of the stuff I have to think through as well. Like, if I want to see Cleats Off the Couch do stuff again, then maybe I need to spend time on Thursday nights planning that instead. These are very real things I'm thinking through and acknowledging. If I want to do anything with like private coaching with middle school and high school students, for football position work, technical work and stuff like that, I have to apportion time for that. You know what I'm saying? So just thinking through the things with football. So I don't know that the Madden and gaming piece would actually be a wise one, because if I'm honest, like, there's people that are established in that realm, with YouTube and stuff like that, but also it's not a high viewer thing on Twitch specifically. It is not, like, that is not a place to grow. TikTok, on the other hand, that's the top, that and trading cards, like in the realm of football. Madden, so football gaming and football trading cards, those are the top 2 I saw when I was scouring through and doing some research tonight. Anybody who's looking in this time of year to just do conversation, to just do football talk, they don't have people there. There's like the biggest one I saw was 9 people. And it's like, okay, and there's nothing wrong with 9 people, but if I'm looking at the most effective means of what I'm doing, that's not the answer. It is banana split ice cream. I mean, there's ways I could do it that are directly chat interacted as well. Again, I'm telling you, it's really unfortunate, but I'm really thinking that all of Thursday night, almost all of Thursday night, unless I split it up into 2 nights, and I do like the first hour on Thursday nights. Well, it's not that I would take a day off. It's just about what my focus with stream would be and where it would be as well. So what I'm coming to right now is maybe I'm doing an hour, my engaging hour of content with related to football on Thursday nights, 9:30 to 10:30, and like 1 week I'm doing like NFL court and doing like just for fun court cases of hot takes or things of that nature, and then maybe I can do a whether it's here on Twitch or maybe it is or I was gonna say and then on Fridays maybe like that first hour 9:30 to 10:30 or something like that. I could do Madden gaming on TikTok and specifically make it engagement focused, or I can keep that on Thursday nights and just do it like, okay, the the second Thursday of every month, make for my own plan of content. The second Thursday of every month I'm doing Madden on TikTok and doing engagement focus, so it's like people can, if they redeem this, then I have to call a random play based on a wheel spin, or I have to play one-handed, stuff like that, the engagement fun stuff. But I believe I will. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Sometimes for me, like, there's different times where me being able to talk out my ideas helps me to develop and helps me to be able to move through them. There's other times where I'm trying to think through things and it's just like, I really need to hone in on how I'm going to create the details of this. And if I'm live doing that, then I'm going to get interrupted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to figure out what are those topics and what are those times. Oh man, there's the no look pass challenge. The idea of like, I can call the play, look at the defense and everything like that, and then try to make try to make the pass without looking at the screen. I think these are two really good ideas, if I'm honest. Like, the football court thing would be its own thing. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that. And it would really be first of its kind that I've ever seen. To where literally I do like a mock Judge Judy kind of thing based upon topics related to the NFL football. It sounds like it could be a lot of fun. Bruh. Well, you tell her that looks phenomenal. And I really wish that you guys could ship me some, because that looks really good. That looks really good. You can show it. Oh, I already X'd out of it. Sorry. So, Red, let me pick your head this way. Maybe this is something you can help me think through. If I do a weekly If the goal would be to do more than one, but for the sake of just talking about football and stuff right now, if I were to do a weekly football related TikToks live, right? Say 9:30 to 10:30 or something like that. Prior to this, whether it would be prior to this, and then I would jump over here to Twitch, invite people to come on over, stuff like that, or if it would just be TikTok live, whatever. If would you be expecting the same type of content every week, or would you be, and think for your own interest as well as try and think as best you can what you think others would see or expect or like, that kind of stuff. So because the idea is this, like, I don't know that I want to, if I did the like court thing, NFL court, after 2 months of that, of every week, people would be tired of that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it would lose its luster. But if it was a highly sought after, looked forward to thing that happened once a month, like if you knew that the last Thursday of every month you were going to get to see NFL court, or would it be like, your show's releasing every week? Because it'd be something different for somebody to see once a week as compared to me doing it every week. Because me doing it every week, I'd probably get fried of it before a viewer would, because a viewer, if done right, is seeing it once a week. You know what I'm saying? It's like the weekly TV show, as compared to if I'm planning it and only doing that. Oh my goodness, like that would just that would burn me, right? So the thought is like, do I just focus on this one idea and run with it, or do I look at these two ideas and do I do every other week, NFL court every other week, and then the other weeks are the engaging community interactive Madden streams? I don't know. These are just some ideas. Because I don't even have, like, I still have TikTok Live Studio on my computer, but I don't know how that would work. I don't know how it works. I don't know how to do the live streams from my computer. I've only ever done it from my mobile device. So but I feel like those would be the two, and then I would just have to figure out the details of each of those, right? I would need to make sure that I have an understanding of these are the hot takes, or these are, and though, let me finish my thought. These are the hot takes, and or topics on trial, and then be prepared for how I'm going to go about that every week. What do you do if people want more of one thing on a weekly basis? I'm not sure I understand how your question is. Are you asking, like, what do you do if people want more of that show that you make, or that thing that you make on a weekly basis? Well, they just have to deal with the fact that their show only releases once a week. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, I'm the one making the content, right? So I'm the one in charge. Ultimately, chat can think they're in charge, but ultimately I'm in charge. I know you guys struggle with that here, but I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's my thing, is like, does it become the thing? You know what I'm saying? Does NFL court become the thing, or is it intermixed with? Because the other thing is, once you get towards the end of summer, you get towards fantasy football season. Well, we're going to be talking fantasy, right? We're going to be talking about different things. We're going to be talking stuff through the season. That's the idea too, is like things are going to have to change. So I feel like, is it going to work, or is it just a right now thing that I do Because I don't think anybody in their right mind, if I were to start doing this in April, the first week of April, I don't think anybody in their right mind is thinking about the fact of me doing that same thing for April, May, June, July, you know what I mean? 4 or 5 months in a row. Oh, I 100% agree, Red. And so, like, that's what I'm still talking about. I'm still talking about focusing on football. It's just how I want to create like what kind of fun, engaging content that would grab people and get that to continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm really trying to figure out, is how I want to get that to grow without it being something that would be stale to me, that I wouldn't like and I would not want to keep doing. But also there would be other means of content on TikTok as well. So for example, I said earlier about like the idea of me doing different, multiple lives and stuff. If every Thursday I'm doing, NFL chat, NFL court, and or say every other week I'm doing NFL court, and then the other weeks I'm doing, engaging Madden streams on TikTok. And then on Tuesdays, I start to open up and do a different kind of stream that isn't football, but is instead focusing on helping like young creators, which coordinates directly with the conversations and the focus that I have with what Tuesdays is supposed to be here on Twitch. And I'm focusing on shoestring budget creators, young creators who are looking to get started into creation on a shoestring budget kind of thing. But I start having conversations about that on TikTok too. That expands something that I enjoy into that, because ultimately I have live stream capability on TikTok because, I have live stream capability on TikTok, and that has been directly coordinated with football over the past year. But I would like for that to be over on the Cleats Off the Couch channel down the line, to where that's all football related, if that makes sense, rather than my own personal. But I don't know the reality of that, because that would mean I have to be creating content with the Cleats Off the Couch channel. I have to be pushing stuff out there to build that, to have the live capability, which is a lot. That's a lot on another channel. Because ultimately, if I'm honest, I didn't want my channel to just be football. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted at all. But that's what it became. So that's kind of the battle that I'm fighting on TikTok. Trying to ride the wave that is building towards consistency and opportunity, but I really want to shape it too. I don't want to be forced into something. Just like when I get back to football season this year, I'm not gonna just be like, I'm not just doing the start sit stuff, or if I do, it's going to be for a set time, because I'm not doing 3.5-hour streams just going through and analyzing and giving my thoughts and stuff on starts, sits, trades, all that kind of fantasy analysis. It was exhausting. It was exhausting last year, and I started to hate it. Not hate it. I started to like not look forward to it at all by late in the season. Earlier on the season, I was loving it, but as you do it for 3.5 hours straight every week, it was just exhausting. So that's where like I'm trying to make sure that kind of thing, like if I do the NFL court thing, it would only be, the goal would only be for an hour, but still, it would be, will it be exhausting if I only did that every week? You know what I'm saying? Because this is going to take time of planning. The fantasy football stuff, that took time because I would create like rankings and stuff like that. But ultimately, if I didn't get to do that, I could still hop in without any planning and prep, and just and have 150 people in chat and giving them thoughts on starters. I mean, you were in some of them, Red. You saw, and obviously the difficulty there is like it's an impossibility to get through every single one. It's an impossibility. And even on the background, you may not realize it, but I'm also like, there were people who would like DM me, and I would give thoughts through DMs as well. So it was just, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I don't want that to be my world this fall. But at the same time, if money comes in and it helps pays bills, then I guess I'll suck it up, Buttercup. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If people are going to pay me for focusing on fantasy football, then oh darn, I could be working in a mine. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? there's a lot of worse ways I could be dealing with life. But yeah, the other thing, like, yeah, I'm just trying to be more specific with my time, more specific with my focus. And so with that, like, I don't want to just drag on and do 2-hour streams when I feel like there's not anything coming from them. You know what I'm saying? There's not anything building from them. There's not any content that I can cut from, like specified content that I can cut from them, those kind of things. And right now that's difficult because I'm doing a lot of planning, it's a lot of thinking, a lot of talking, that kind of stuff, as compared to actually let's do this content. But if it's not going to be effective on here, I don't want to be doing it on here. And I think that's obvious. I think that's smart. I think that's wise. But I mean, let me look real quick. I want to look at this. Come here. Come with me. Come with me, and you'll see. Da, 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 da. All right. Oh man, it's that Inception. It's Inception. If I go, and I look at browse. If I look at browse and I look at games, can I search by games? If I search based upon, let me go back right here. This is category tags though, but if I go, let me think here. Let me think. Oh, Madden. Duh. That's what I'm looking at. If I look at Madden, okay. How are you supposed to search by game? Anyway, let's see. Can I look for a specific game? The search system on here is atrocious. Because if I type Madden in here, there we go. Okay, so you can do this. No, but this is the channel. I don't want their channel. I want to see the game. Here we go. So what I'm looking at here is like, okay, the huddle piece, like they have a specific things that they have set up for that. 881 views, but then look, like this is high to low. Like Madden is not a high. It's not a highly viewed situation. Not at all. And that's where like playing that here on Twitch is not really. Plus, like they're playing Madden 25 on next gen, so all the features of next gen are there. All the next gen features are there. Whereas for me, I'm playing on a 1S. And I'm also not a professional in any way, shape, or form. But that I could care less about. That's why I'd have challenges and would create certain things I could do for myself. But yeah, so that's the difficulty. I was trying to look to see in comparison to what I was already talking about, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know where my mind is right now. I'm lost in space. And the other thing is the cleats off piece, but I don't know, because I've thought about this. Red, here's another thing. I know M2K would be on to talk, would love to hear more about this, but like the cleats off the couch thing. Cleats off the couch, I don't want to let die. I want to do that podcast. I've thought about maybe trying to have it in relation to live, and like even if I did recordings live, and I can go into the talk show and podcasts channel on Twitch, and I could do, once a month. That's where that's where the podcast is, kind of thing, and I could do a little bit of planning for that throughout the month on the second hour here on Thursday nights, and then once a month I record that. The only issue, and doing it live, if there is anybody that in chat, it allows for that kind of like Q&A or a certain kind of approach that way. I don't know. The difficulty with that is it creates a lot of planning, and yeah, the doing it live part is really difficult. When you don't have when you are one person doing a podcast, man, it is hard. Doing all of the parts of podcasting, it is really difficult. And so this whole time, I didn't realize, I don't think it was turned up so they could hear it, but my speakers were on. Oh boy. My wife's trying to sleep right above me. Whoops. Whoops. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know where to go with that, but see, like, I even get to a place like where I am. This is me being super authentic. All right, me being super transparent right now. Is like where I am right now, like tonight. Red is like, okay, I talked about some of the stuff that I had, and it's just like my mind's at a place of like, so do I just like play Madden? Like, what do I do right now? Like, that's where my mind is at. In the past 2 weeks, I've just played Madden, and last week I was able to create something out of that. It was like, okay, this is the plan, let's do this, and it worked out. I think it worked out. It went a little late for me, but it worked out. But I don't want that to be what happens, because that's part of the idea of like, I don't want to waste my time. Like, I want to be effectively using my time, whether it's people here and I'm chatting with them, we got a group here we're chatting with or something like that, or do I then like, okay, you know what, if I feel like I've covered these things, then why don't I look to to end stream, and then I can work on some other stuff off stream. Maybe I can work on my thumbnail for this other stuff, because tonight's supposed to be related to football, so I don't want to do those things on stream because they're not related, if that makes sense. But I don't know. I fight myself a lot. And I lose so often. Anyway, maybe I should spend time. You know what? Maybe we should go through part 2. I'm gonna change my title. Audio stuff stinks. There, that's my title. And we're gonna try and figure this out, Red. We're gonna try and figure it out tonight. Again. If you can't hear your OBS alerts with Voicemeeter Potato, ensure your Voicemeeter Potato audio output is correctly routed to your monitoring device in OBS, and that the alert source is set to monitor the correct output. Hoodie, what? Hoodie, what? Okay, so here's a more detailed breakdown. This is from AI. Let's see if they can help me out. All right, verify that Voicemeeter Potato output you're using for your alerts, A1, A2, is correctly selected in the OBS settings as the monitor device. Okay, so my headphones, A1, which is my headphones. So let me make sure that's what is selected in my OBS settings. All right, so let's go here. In case you can't tell, Red, I am switching gears and I'm focusing on this audio issue. I'm going to try and figure it out. Be productive with my time right now. Okay, settings. Yeah, Voicemeeter Potato. That's what I use. It's my digital soundboard. Okay, so my audio, let's look here. I'll even. Oh, Don't you give me that. Don't you try and yell at me. How dare you? Let's go settings. Booyah. We'll bring this over here and we'll look at this. And audio. My monitoring device is my headphones. Or should it be voice meter input? No, because A1, that's what it said, which is my headphones. Okay. Okay, that's what it is. Ensure the volume levels within voice meter potato are set appropriately for your alert sounds. They are. Huda, they are. Unless you're telling me that I need to... Are you telling me that I need to make my audio monitoring device actually the input? And then if I were to open up on Stream Elements, let me just switch back over to here. If I were to go to dashboard, and then I were to go to activity feed, we'll go to yesterday. Or we'll just replay this. We'll replay your activity when you did the viewer attack. That didn't work. Okay, let me redo this one from yesterday with... You could hear that, right? Because I could not. I'm going to replay it again. See if I just missed it. No. See, I can't hear that. And that's what keeps annoying me. All right, let's put it back over to headphones. Apply. Let's try it again. You're going to hear that noise a lot, all right? I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. Nope. OBS audio settings. Go to OBS audio and make sure the correct audio device is selected for desktop audio and mic auxiliary audio. Okay. What is the right one though? That's what I'm. What? I was also, by the way, Red, trying to make another scene. Oh my goodness! Stop it! Stop it! Trying to make another scene earlier, but you can't see it right now because OBS is saying you can't do that. Okay, so the mic and auxiliary audio is... Well, what's the desktop? Desktop I have at default. Should I make that input? Let me see if that fixed it. Nope. Hi. Hi, Chihuahua. Okay, let me go to Stream Elements. Let me go to Advanced Audio Properties and ensure that the alert box audio source is set to monitor the well, you don't do that in this one. Why is it telling me to do that in this one? If I go to properties, I don't know. Dude, this has been so infuriating. Here we go. We're on Reddit. Let's see what they have to say. Setting up my stream was troubleshooting some issues, so I watched a video about routing. However, while I now have all my personal audio, desktop, and voice split into neat little tracks, and I tested that they were recorded and monitored, I can't hear my Twitch extension stream alerts anymore. That's what I'm saying. OBS still registers the audio from the browser source, and it makes it through to the final recording, or for stream, like you guys hear. But since I've routed my audio through Voicemeeter, I can't hear them, and that's whether I turn monitoring in OBS advanced audio properties on or off. I'm probably blanking on something pretty simple, but can someone please enlighten me? All right, let's see. What in the world? And then literally they say, later they say, ladies and gentlemen, please disregard. Everything was working fine after a reboot and a short break. Well, how does that help me? I've turned it on and off again. Your first problem was using a potato. I know. I know it was. Listen. If I could... Listen, that's why these are on this list, okay? I don't know what just happened there, but that's why these are on this list. Okay? Right here. the audio mix button, the beacon, the bridge cast, to actually have a physical audio board on my desk, that's why they're on there, okay? I don't know what happened. Because there was definitely... I heard the audio. I don't know where it went. I heard audio of like bits or something like that. I heard audio, but I don't know where it went. Okay, so here's a breakdown of the process. Configure OBS to send the alert audio to Voicemeeter's aux input, and then route the aux output to your desired stream or recording output. So, Red, those are, I said earlier, those are from when Throne was doing a giveaway on one of their streams or whatever, and so you had to set up like a Valentine's Day one, and so I added ones in to make a Valentine's wish list, but I haven't removed them yet. So, deal with it. Set up alert sources. In OBS, create sources for your alerts. I have. Assign audio. Assign an audio source to each alert source. This could be a sound file, a specific microphone input, or even a virtual audio cable. Monitor audio. In OBS, go to the settings, audio advanced, and set the monitoring device to Voicemeeter aux input. This one's giving me better directions. Go to audio, and then you go down here to advanced monitoring device. Aha. Voicemeeter. That's input. Voicemeeter aux input. Have I been doing the wrong one this whole time? I still can't hear it. I still can't hear it. Come on, I got too excited. Now, in Voicemeeter Potato, select the aux channel. Okay. Set to receive the audio from the OBS monitoring device. Now route the aux channel to the output channel, A1. I think. I think. You can also route other audio sources like your microphone or game audio to different channels and voice. Yeah. Well, I did that, and now I have that there. And now it shows it. It shows it on my voice meter. It shows it right there. I can see it. I can see it. See? I'm going to let you see that I can see it. It shows it right here. Okay? But if I go here and I hit replay activity, nothing. Nothing. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So frustrating. Let's watch the video, I guess.
And going to audio.dg.exe and changing the priority to always as high.
Bro.
And then affinity, and make sure you select it and do CPU 0.
Bro.
Now, if you don't have this, you can also use Task Manager if you want. You just go to details, audio DG, and then you can set to high priority right here, and then affinity. But every time you restart your computer, those are going to reset. So it's best to just use process last, so it's super easy, super simple to use. But that's what I recommend. Crackling can also happen with like these buffers. I recommend if you're getting crackling issues and it's not fixing, like when you change these, another thing you can do is restart your computer, or even just reselect this, or just restart Audio Engine right here. If those.
Okay, let's do this. Using cable A, voice meter, potato, alert, OBS alerts. Let's see what happens. These are all like full things, hour long, 23 minutes. This is voice meter banana, which I don't think goes into enough detail. Yeah, I might have to go look at these, unfortunately. Ugh. Let's just ask the same thing, but to Google. Okay.
So Voicemeeter introduced VAIO extensions in the last update, so I'm going to explain how it all works and give you some of the best routing options.
Okay.
Once you've downloaded and installed the VAIO extensions, you'll see these new options pop up above your hardware inputs. So you'll see this one,
I don't think I have that.
And it's clicking them essentially triggers it on and off. And then you'll see the outputs for A1 through A5.
What?
You'll be able to trigger those as well. So kind of talk through this and give you my recommendation of how I would, once you trigger to here, you'll now be able to see it come through. So mic check. To individually route, let's say.
That's not what I'm looking for. This isn't what I'm looking for.
Meter.
Okay. This is not what I'm looking for. Oh boy. Yes. See, this is what I want to understand. So, do I... Hey! Thank you for that follow. Eagles Wings, appreciate you. How are we doing tonight? Kind of shifted gears tonight and am trying to figure out this stupid audio situation. Let's go. Eagle Garrett, I got you. How we doing? Trying to figure out this audio situation because I have lost my ability to be able to hear alerts, whether it's extension alerts, like your follow alert. I couldn't hear it, but it's playing through the stream, and I'm having a ton of issues with this. So that's why the title says audio stuff sucks. But how we doing tonight? Good to have you here. Let's see. So can it really be something this simple? A little under the weather, but other than that, doing pretty well. Well, may the Lord heal you quickly. I'm trying to see. Does this bring me to the right thing? They changed everything too, because I'm on Windows 11, and things look so weird. But glad to hear you're doing well otherwise. How'd you find the channel? Well, I see the call thing, so I'm guessing that might be how. So system output goes to the voice meter input. Okay, which is what I want. This isn't the right thing. Oh my. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Help me, help me, help me. Let's put that to cable A. OBS, let's put that to cable A as well. Okay, so if they're both through cable A. Okay, I'm trying to work through some stuff here. This is what Voice Meter Potato looks like if people don't know. And this goes to my headphones. All right, so we got that. But it shows OBS and stuff right here. But I used to have them to where they came through this cable right here. Cable A. Oh, that doesn't even say it's cable A. That just said cable. I'm so confused. All right, so this is going to be loud, but Eagles, I'm going to replay your activity. Nothing. Nothing, ladies and gentlemen, and it doesn't show through either of these either. Really? I'm one of his recommended? Bro, that's... I feel humbled. I feel very humbled. You're just recently, I mean, you're getting, wait, let me, hold up. So, what you're coming into is me recently actually getting back into streaming. So I took a period of time off because I was trying to make sure that I had a better grasp of what I was doing and where I was going with things and such. And so I have kind of a stream plan, if you will, for the next 3 months minimum. It could be beyond from there, but to kind of trying to prioritize and focus on what I'm trying to do and things like that nature. So this is like week 3, I think, of consistent streams. So welcome. Hey, listen, I love it. Eagles Wings, you have automatically jumped up the list. You know how to press the right button regardless of which one is shiny and red. Very well done. Very well done. If your chat can hear your alerts but not Voice Meter Potato, ensure your default output in Windows sound settings is set to Voice Meter input and your input device is set to Voice Meter output. Red, that's what it is, I thought. I haven't actually been able to, for a hot minute, I haven't been able to be in Eagle Garrett streams. I watch my 2 boys during the day, so I don't get to really watch Twitch at all during the day like I used to. Especially since we try to be very controlling about, like, controlling? That sounds terrible. But we try to be specific with screen use and such. So, all right. So I thought I already have that read, but I'll do it anyway, just because at this point, you know, whatever. Let me reset those to where they were, though. put this back to, where was this? Was this headphones? Maybe these aren't in the right one. Maybe these need to be, no, aux is the middle one. I'm confused. What did I just do to myself? Okay, because that's going to aux input as well. So yeah, I don't want this aux input. I just want this at voice meter input. No, I actually wanted it at VIO, didn't I? This is the stupid stuff. This is definitely the stupid stuff about streaming that nobody talks about. This just is not, it's just not purdy. No, that's the right one, because that should go there. Okay, so those are at the right spot. But now I'm going to go to sound settings. And it's saying voice meter, yeah, Windows sound settings, set voice meter input. And your input device is set to voice meter output. Okay. And then voice meter. You know what? You might have just done something. Because I had it at voice meter aux output. Voice meter aux instead of voice meter. Let's test it out, ladies and gentlemen. Did we figure this out? Did we figure this out? Eagle's wings, you're going to get another, you're going to fly onto the screen again. I still don't hear anything. I still don't hear anything. This is very aggravating. Let me see. Voice meter input. Let me see. So this is what we're going to try to do. All right. This is not what any of us signed up for tonight, but it's what's happening. Okay, you can see all the repeated ones because I've been trying this. On Tuesday night, I was trying this. Tonight, I thought, okay, here towards the end of stream, I'll try and work on it a little bit as well. Okay, this is infuriating. So, I have these right here. It's just, why do they never play music or sound? So maybe, is it something in my settings on OBS? Let's see. Let's get more mess on this screen. Audio. Global audio devices. Voice meter input. Boom. And then my monitoring device. Maybe I need to make that one voice meter input. Apply. All right, let's try it out. Still nothing. Let me try different. I've been trying Stream Elements. Let me try Tangia. Let me see if that one works at all. Or maybe none of them do. Because if one of them works, okay, then what we do is we separate ourselves from the fact of it being an all situation versus just one thing. So warning guys, I'm about to hit a button that is going to have a jump scare sound effect. I'm warning you because unless it properly does it and I hear it, you guys will hear it. All right, but this is from Tangia. I'm just testing it out. Replay failed. Oh, it's older than 75. Oh, it's older than 72 hours. Okay, hold on a second. I gotta test one out. Okay, let's try this one. Test interaction. Send test. You guys can hear that? You guys could hear that, right? I couldn't. This is so aggravating. Why can I not hear? I'm going to have to literally start from scratch. I'm going to have to literally start from scratch. This is ridiculous. I couldn't hear that. What's this you just...
Discord. So I know that this is my Discord chat. And then now we want to head over to the Discord. Whether you're using the website or you're using the app, you can still do this for both. So you're going to go down to your user settings. We want to come down to fix it. All right. So when you...
Wait a minute. Wait. I got an idea. Was I actually... Here's the question. Look at my settings and go to voice and video. No, see, that goes to the right spot. This is based upon... Yeah, this is based upon other stuff. Yeah, I've seen this.
You download Voice Meter and Voice Meter Potato, and when you donate that $5, what it's gonna do is it's gonna give you 2 additional virtual cables that you can use.
Yep.
So right here,
Yep.
you can use the party. We're gonna start off in the Voice Meter app. Now what we're gonna do is go to hardware input 2, and we want to set that to our cable output. Okay, we can right click and name this one Xbox Party.
I've already got that set up that way.
Now we're gonna go over to the Xbox app. If you go down to the settings and scroll down just a little bit,
yeah, it was that
you're
guy.
gonna see
Eagles.
party options come
It was
up.
that guy.
Now what we want to do is make sure that the speaker is not on default. We want to come down to speaker VB audio cable, and we're gonna send that. So what that's gonna do is send all the audio from the Xbox app to the audio virtual cable line. Remember, we put that audio virtual cable line in Xbox Party hardware input 2.
Are you guys seeing this?
So now this whole channel will be our Xbox Party. Now once you have the Xbox Party set up, you'll be able to control as well as add any effects that you'd like. This will work both for the Xbox and the Discord parties. Now another trick that I like to do is come back in.
Here's the
here,
problem.
and we're gonna set our microphone as voice meter output.
How is that working?
Now remember,
How did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? The audio was bouncing for OBS. So the audio is properly routed from OBS. I'm telling you, the audio is properly routed. This right here that you're seeing, this right here, is a pop out from chat, which I have. It's a dock that I have set up from OBS. This then is not. It goes to the browser, but it's within OBS, and it is playing the audio right here, where I have it set up. I will demonstrate again.
remember,
See?
the voice meter aux output.
You see the green?
Is gonna be our second output channel, which means that B2 is gonna be the audio.
So you know what that means, though? That means everything is set up to go through OBS properly and to come out, and we should be hearing it. I hear it, you hear it, we all hear it. Why are the alerts not being heard by me? Is it because they're not coming through the voice meter output and they're supposed to be coming through the monitoring? But then what's the monitoring? Maybe I need to change the monitoring back to something. If I have the audio, that right now the monitoring device is voice meter input. Let me change that. Let me change that to my headphones. Apply. Okay. This
That Xbox
is
party.
still doing what it's supposed to. And let's replay Eagles. No, I'm still not hearing it. What? I'm gonna go nuts. I'm gonna go crazy. This is ridiculous. So if the audio is going through here through OBS, then it's got to be something about the playback, the monitoring, because I have it sent from OBS into Voicemeeter input. Then Voicemeeter input is sending out, or then Voicemeeter Potato is sending out through Voicemeeter output into OBS. And so that means if the sound is not, either the sound then is not being, well, no, the sound is able to be sent because it's OBS. So then it's got to be my monitoring. Monitor off. Monitor and output. Close. Let's just see if it was just as easy as as that kind of thing. Nope, it's not that simple. Not that simple. Practicing patience. It's not fun. So then, I don't need that right now. See, how I used to have it set up was all of my extensions and alerts came through here. Okay? The other problem is this. If I were to take... Ooh, wrong one. If I were to... That's the wrong one too. Where'd that go? Right there. If I were to take this... Oh, it won't let me grab the... Okay. So we'll quit out of that. If I were to take the link, Red, that you shared. If I were to copy that and I were to do it right here. Okay.
Discord, over to the recordings tab. We're gonna scroll
okay.
down again.
Internet is
and
through
we're
here.
Going to set voice meter output.
Okay.
As the same thing, both our default
which is my cable output
and our default communication device.
Which means
So
this one I put as my cable A output.
We're gonna click OK, and then we can exit out of this portion.
All right, let me watch closer, see what he has to say here about this.
We'll head back over to the voice meter app. And now we want to set up our hardware inputs. All right, so we're gonna go back over to Voicemeter, and in Voicemeter, we're gonna go up to the top left, and we're gonna set our hardware input 1 as our microphone. So this is gonna be the mic
I already got
you're
that.
using. For me, it's a Blue Yeti. For you, it'll be the name of whatever mic you have. If you right click at the top, it'll allow you to rename the channel. I'm just gonna name this Yeti so I can keep track of which channel I'm in. Now this whole channel will belong to our microphone. We'll be able to adjust. The next thing we're gonna wanna set up from. So now we want it to come out of our speakers. So I set my A1 as the speakers on my laptop. We're just gonna go down to speakers, Realtek Audio, and I set my A2 as my headphones. So
I have it the opposite, but that's okay.
Audio recording and doing your stream. The one thing that you're gonna want to do, I personally turn off the A1s for all the channels because I don't like things being played out loud on my speakers. I'm usually listening them through my headphones. And then what you're going to want to do is make sure that you turn off B1 on all the channels that you're not using. All right, so when we originally set up our default devices in the beginning, what we were doing was sending all of the audio that's coming through our PC to this channel right here.
Yes.
Voice meter VIO. So all of our default audio will go here. So everything that you want broadcasted to the stream is going to be in the B1 section. So once you turned off all of the other channels, you want to make sure that you have B1 selected on the channels that you want broadcasted to your stream. For me, I need my mic broadcasted to my stream, so I'm going to turn the B1 on the very first channel, which is the Blue Yeti. And then I want to send all of the game audio and everything that's going on in my PC to the stream as well. So I'm going to turn the B1
I don't do that
right here.
I need to get back to that.
I'll show you how you can add
in fact, yeah, I need to get back to that because I actually have the mic self-control. Like I control the mic in OBS. I need to control it via... No, the reason why I have it like that is because I control how loud you guys hear the microphone in OBS. And then using the voice meter output one, I can control how loud. Wait, no, I'd be able to do that anyway. Like if I unmuted it, would I hear it, or would you guys hear me a second time? Let me see here. Does audio jump? Can you guys hear me a second time? Am I echoing? I don't think I am. What about now? Am I echoing now? Yeah. So okay, so that would be, I don't have B1 playing because I don't have B1 on my mic, because when I do that, I think how I used to have it is like I would hear it. If I would do like A1, I'm hearing myself right now, and it's just a split second after, so it's really, it's making me talk funny. Anyway, so I shut that off. And so I just would mute that. But if I have the B1, I could mute it, and then you guys wouldn't hear it as well. Or I could turn it on, and the idea would be I control it here as to like how loud I am to you guys, I believe. Is that right? No, it's still, that's the thing. Like it still would not be controlling. It would still be based upon, yeah, because I'm at negative 60 there. I think that's why I did that, was because it wasn't controlling that in the way that it should, or that I think it should. If I'm going to be sending that audio into the stream, and then I should be able to use that soundboard to be able to change my mic's audio level. So that way I can just do it all in one place. But unfortunately, you guys hear how loud that is. And if I switch it down to lower, it doesn't change. It's still the same. That's infuriating. So that's why I have it controlled. Basically, any slider here is about what I hear in my ear. Yeah. So, and maybe there's another way to be able to deal with stuff like that, and I just don't know enough about this yet. Maybe
a separate channel for something like your Xbox party, your Discord, or your music, so that way you can turn that on and off as you please.
Yeah, so that's what I have in, oh no, what is going on? My computer's going crazy. Oh my goodness, my computer's going crazy. Stop it, I didn't want that. So over here, I have Discord, and whenever I get, like if I were to go and get connected to like a party here on Xbox, and I were to get like start a party, it would go right here. It's my communications. It's my communications one. So Skype, stuff like that, it would go right there. So let me hop out of that. Yeah, so I have that set up already. And I don't know why it's staying there. Is it because I was connected and now I need to quit out? No, I don't know why that's staying on, but okay.
Now, if you'd like to hear anything on your headphones, you're going to use the A2 option.
A1 Remember, for me.
Top, we set A2
A1 steak
as our
sauce.
Realtek audio second output,
Barbecue
so
sauce. Anyway,
so
as
anything
Ted
that
Lasso
you
would
turn
say.
A2 on is going to play through your headphone. Now, when you want to control your A2 volume, we're going to go right here, and you can turn up and down the volume that's on your headphones. If we double click it, it'll set it right back to the original 0 dB. Now, after we've turned off all the different channels, we want to make sure that we mess with our compression. So you have compression here.
I don't care about that right now. I don't care about compression.
Noise. And when I'm micing subs, you're going to want inputs any background noise when I'm not speaking. All right, so once you have your hardware input set up, you're going to want to go into slobs. You're going to want to
they're using Streamlabs OBS. Ugh.
Go to the scene that you want to add your audio to. You're going to hit the plus tab. You're going to go down to audio input, and then you're going to go down to the bottom where it says add a new source instead. And then we're going to click add source. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add the default capture.
Okay.
And then we're going to click done. So once you've clicked done, it's going to add your audio capture input into that scene. Okay. And if you look over on your mixer, you'll notice that that input is actually voice meter VIO. So the voice meter VIO is that same B1 line that we talked about right here, the voice meter VIO.
Yeah.
So everything that you have turned on B1 is going to be transmitted over to your stream. Now you'll add that into all the scenes that you want, so you can put it in every single scene. That way,
Yep.
webcam on all of the sources that we want to hear audio from. So I need to use my Elgato HD60S because I need to be able to hear my gameplay on stream. I also turn it on all of my effects, and I also turn it on my alert boxes and my mix it up. So basically, your gameplay and any alerts that you want heard on your stream, you want to turn it to monitor only. The reason we're going to do that is because when we have it on monitor only, it's going to send that audio through our VIO channel, which we can then send to B1 and send it straight through to our stream.
What? What? I have it. OBS. Okay, let me try that. Let me go to stream alerts, advanced. I mean, but it hasn't been monitoring. Like, I should still be hearing it if it was monitor only. The issue is that they're not coming through as the browser, the OBS browser thing. That's the issue. But how are they coming through the stream? You guys are hearing them. I'm super.
If we had on monitor and output, we would end up getting an echo from being able to hear it as well as it playing through the stream. So you want monitor only. Now, if you just wanted the basic setup.
Okay, so if that's the case, then me doing that. No, it's still just playing on.
You could stop right here, but if you want to get a little bit more advanced and add in your Xbox party, Discord party, and maybe a little bit of music, we're going to keep going with the video. If the video is helping out so far, do me a favor, go down, smash this meter. It's going to give you one free virtual cable. Separate it from all the audio, mute them from our stream, but as well as I use what you'll have dollars to in the voice meter app. Now what we're going to do is go to hardware input 2, and we want to set that to our cable output.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can
That's
right
what I
click
have.
and name this one.
That's what I have as my
Xbox
internet
party.
and stuff. Yeah, the Xbox party and
Now,
stuff for me
we're gonna
comes
go
through
over
over
to
here
the
with
Xbox app.
Discord
If you
and
go down
everything.
to the settings and scroll down just a little bit, you're gonna see party options come up. Now what we want to do is make sure that the speaker is not on default. We want to come down to speaker VB audio cable, and we're gonna send that. So
Yep,
what
got
that's
that
gonna
already.
do is send all the audio from the Xbox app to the audio virtual cable line. Now remember, we put that audio virtual cable line in Xbox party hardware set up. You'll be able to control the other trick that I like to do is come back in here, and we're gonna set our microphone as voice meter aux output. Now remember, the voice meter aux output is going to be our second output channel, which means that B2 is going to be the audio that Xbox party hears. Now the reason that we want Xbox to be able to hear the B2 channel is because remember, our gameplay is going to be coming through B1. So we don't want our Xbox party to hear our gameplay, our music, and all the other stuff that's getting directed to our stream.
Okay. That's over my head right now, but I will need that. That's important, actually.
Hear what we
should I just force myself to do it? No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
We are talking about. So we give them a set our Discord. What turning? So if you didn't purchase the extra audio cables, purchase the cables what you hear just like that. Now I'm gonna here. We're gonna go to select an input device on hardware input 3, and we're gonna use audio cable A. So virtual A. Once you have everything downloaded and installed, it'll appear just like that. Now I'm gonna change my name to Discord. So I know that this is my Discord chat.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we want to head over to the Discord. Whether you're using the website or you're using the app, you can still do this for both. So you're going to go down to your user settings. We want to come down to voice and video. And now we want to set our default input to the same that we did for the Xbox party. We want to have it as the voice meter VIO aux. That's going to allow it B2 to come to Discord instead of having the B1 go to Discord with all of our music and our game audio. And now for our output, we want to come down to virtual cable A so that we know our Discord audio is going to be going over to the third channel on our, from all of the other, which you can see right here, we're going to set it to VIO 3. That way it'll come through on a separate channel. And this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look for the app that we want to use. So I'm looking for Google Chrome. We want the output, so the sound that's coming out of Google, we want to set that to our VIO 3. So what we're going to do is just scroll down and you see voice meter VIO 3 input. We're going to click that, and now it's going to send all of the audio coming from our Google browser to that line. So now if we X this out, if you notice, Google now appears under the VIO 3 column. So I'm going to hit A2 so that I can hear it on my headphones. And at any point, if I wanted to transmit that audio into my stream, I would just go ahead and click on the B1.
Wow. I'm going to throw this guy a like because I think I need to come back to this. I'm not going to be able to do this tonight, but because there's pieces there that I would like to kind of reconfigure. I'd like to reconfigure then because that gives me a more clear understanding that wasn't given to me before about how I could have a line in which basically my speakers work, like desktop audio, and then also have a separate one for Google Chrome, and then the separate one that I have for music. Like that's what I wanted, is the separation and capability to individually control those. But the unfortunate thing, it led me somewhere. Yes, I do appreciate that, Red, because it's allowing me like, okay, I need to remember these and I need to reconfigure. But I'm still, the still unanswered piece is why are the OBS alert systems not playing in my ears? I've done the monitoring. I've rewired the monitoring. OBS plays sound through Voice Meter Potato and through the stream, but I cannot hear it. That's the infuriating thing. And what's really frustrating is I used to have it right here. Notice the title I had, extensions/alerts. This was where I had it coming through using my digital cable A output. Don't know why. I don't know why it disconnected. I don't know how that happened. I don't know what's going on. But I will have to spend a lot of unfortunate time trying to reconfigure this. I will. I have to. So I'm probably going to leave that tab up on my computer and have to come back to it. But anyway, for tonight, though, I do have to hop off. I got to get to bed. I got to get done with it. I get done with a thing or two and get to bed. So. So, Red, appreciate you being here tonight. Thanks for sharing that link. It did lead me somewhere, and I'm going to have to spend time making sure I perfect this system. But, oh, man. See, and then I got like those noises coming through, which you guys can hear, which are like my Microsoft To Do, which I haven't used properly in a year. Anyway, with that being said, have a blessed night. To those who are thinking about football, happy football. But everybody get some sleep. God bless y'all. Tomorrow night, back on 9:30 p.m. Video and gaming related content. Hope to see you guys. Eagles, great having you tonight. Red, have a good night. Great having you too, obviously. And to y'all, I say good a night.